Hill.
Not only the band was hyped, the players were hyped. They're excited to come out here on Senior Day and put their best foot forward. You see a lot of high performances on Senior Day because of that emotion that they come in with.
And so he hasn't played in a couple of weeks. Came back to practice this week, dusted off the rust on Tuesday and Wednesday. But this team will benefit from Thompson as he scrambles for yards and these fans come to their feet.
Casey Thompson with a nice run for the first down. Hands it off to Grant, nowhere to go.
When he makes a player makes a decision, he's full speed ahead, whether that's throwing touchdowns, interceptions, or scrambling out of the pocket.
That pass incomplete around midfield. Third down and 11, opening drive of the ball game. Casey Thompson completing about 63% of his passes. Going to throw it again here, at least try to. Backside pressure. It's caught, but it's going to be short of the first down. Let's see where they spot it.
Seems like Mickey Joseph is content playing the field position game. You know, early in the game, doesn't want to go for it on fourth down and give his defense in a bad situation.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Play the field position battle, and he said coming into this week, we got to play 60 minutes of football in all three phases. This is part of that.
A line drive kick. And it bounces out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there.
He's looking for a bounce back.
Hands it off to Braylon Allen over the right side of that offensive line. 2nd down and 4. Pass downfield. Incomplete at the 42, intended for Skylar Bell. He suffered a rather graphic and gruesome injury a moment ago. We are not in the business of showing gratuitous replays. We're just going to report that that's what's happened. You'll have to trust us. But you see his spirits obviously still on the rise despite his injury. 3rd down and 4. Little receiver screen to Ingram. And it's going to be short of the first down. That'll have to wait until the next series for the Badgers. Martin back for this punt. Calls for the fair catch at the 30. Casey Thompson back at quarterback. Little RPO action. Pass is complete. And out to the 35-yard line. I'm just going to pass on that one. They're going to run it between the tackles. Anthony Grant. Thompson blitzed and sacked at the 27. They brought some smoke, and Benton made the tackle on the play.
They got to start moving forward, fellas. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day.
That was Benton's 4th sack of the season, a high spiral punt. Ingram bobbles it. And it's going to be...
You know, the Baylor Bears would always love to play spoiler for those TCU Horned Frogs. Yeah. They're going to play inspired ball today.
A little run over the right side of the offensive line.
To the SEC championship game and win. It's going to put a wrench in some things.
Yes, sir. Mertz hands it off to Braylon Allen.
Depending on who wins the Big Ten. It's just a cluster right now. They're hoping that one of these undefeated conference champions loses before they get there.
Never really easy. They run it into the boundary with Allen. 2nd and 3. Badgers keep it on the ground and a first down. Braylon Allen.
He's right now only the 5th guy in Wisconsin history to run for 1,000 yards, both as a freshman and a sophomore.
They keep it on the ground with Ches Malosi, a linebacker out of high school. He only played running back his senior season in high school. Little bubble screen out of the backfield. Lewis with the catch.
As long as his players can play with a free mind.
Badgers pound away straight ahead. That's going to be enough for the first down.
So you're going to see a little bit of that today in their running game.
Back to pass, deflected over the middle, through the hands. That's big interim. They're going to keep it between the tackles on the ground.
Now, if you're Graham Mertz, they bring the back into the backfield. He knows he's got zone coverage. Operate like a quarterback's supposed to.
That's Garendo. Tried to set up the receiver screen. The defense.
But when it comes in the stadium, it kind of whips across the far side and then across the field towards the press box. So really difficult in special teams today.
Yeah, it is somewhat perilous down there on the field. I'm going to give you another opportunity. 6 states that border landlocked Nebraska.
Yeah. Did you just see the dancing corn on the screen?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Don't distract me, man. That's a question for you.
Six states that, bro, can we call this game?
Right up the middle. The Burr in motion. They're going to run it again, keep it on the ground.
That's the easiest way to describe that from a running back perspective.
Thompson outside the pocket. Going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, 31, which we mentioned a moment ago. They're also on the ESPN app. That pass caught. Colorado got to be one, yeah. Because I'm with you on this.
And then there's one that you just South Dakota. Is South Dakota one of them?
That might be what states border this wonderful state of Nebraska. Thompson under duress. He was sacked earlier. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage again by John Meta.
Expect him to try to target Trey Palmer, number 3.
They got a trips left formation. Has a little bit of time, but a lot of green in front of him. Takes off. Brought down around midfield, about a yard short of the first down. Robert, 4th and short. Last time, Mickey Joseph elected to punt. And at the end of the first 15 minutes of play on Senior Day, he's faced with another decision. Again on 4th and I guess a long 1.5. Robert, I'm guessing you don't like the call as the punt dribbles down to the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for Braylon Allen. Cuts it back up in between the middle of the offensive line.
Need to watch out for that. Allow him to get some rest here so we can come back strong.
2nd and short. They'll pick up the first down. Ches Malosi.
You see him going down. Oh. Looks like Luke Reimer fell right on top of his shoulder. It's those hits that you don't expect sometimes that can bother you the most.
1,000-yard rusher. And he was already a little banged up coming into the game. That was Ches Malosi again.
To win this game today.
He's the fastest one of the group. Malosi going to be hit in the backfield and brought down for a loss by Colton Feast, one of the most consistent players on that defensive front. This defensive front only allowed Quorum a longest run of 12 yards. Nice catch coming across the formation.
To get Graham Mertz in the rhythm.
Going to hand it off into the boundary. Garendo with nowhere to go, going to be stopped up right near the line of scrimmage. 5.5 coming into the game on the handoff. Malosi looking at a 3rd down and 8. They've got to get to the 46. Mertz picked off at the 40. Hartzog still on his feet and takes it back to the 37-yard line. Wonder if Thompson takes a shot here after the pick. Little play action blitz off the edge, and Thompson with a lot of room put his hat down and made it down to the 28-yard line.
Cold is an understatement.
8-yard gain. Nebraska going to keep it on the ground.
His legs have been the only way that they've moved the ball so far.
Haven't heard much from Trey Palmer yet. The out pattern complete, and on cue, Trey Palmer with the reception partner.
Maybe in that situation, they'll take that short completion.
Mickey Joseph said he's ready to pop this week. Right now, it's going to be Anthony Grant. Thompson on the RPO. Fires it out of bounds.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the pass. Offense number 83 was covered. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Gives Trey Palmer confidence that I'm going to get back on track.
On 3rd and 7, Thompson underneath, complete, caught, Vokalek. 1st and goal. They're going to run it and nowhere to go for Grant. Couldn't get away. NFL type into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Palmer. It's Trey Day. Touchdown, Nebraska. Frustrated last week at Michigan. Uncharacteristically had a dropped pass.
Big Ten Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you want an edge in the competitive market, Rocket can.
Reintegrating after World War II.
Wow, tremendous story, Q. Tremendous story of fortitude. Finds a nice crease on the right side of that offensive line.
It's nice to have 2 or 3 backs in the backfield that you can take the load off on.
Wisconsin rolling up their sleeves and pounding away. Allen back in the ball game on 2nd down and 5. Trying the right side of the offensive line. He's going to pick up a 1st down and stopped at about the 47-yard line by Luke Reimer. Some of obviously moving forward a little easier than others.
Have to bury your children. You would think that institutions and schools is where they'd be safe at.
Lucy with a 1st down. Q.
Think about the connection, the relationships that are built by football, and how difficult it was for so many on this roster today. A lot of hurt.
Backs lining up out of the eye. Rucci in motion now sets. Nowhere to go on the cutback by Braylon Allen. Stopped up at about the 27-yard line. Sets up an interesting 3rd down call coming up. Clements making the tackle. Robert, on this drive, the Badgers have run the ball on every single play, invariably.
Yeah, and if you're offensive coordinator Bobby Ingram, I believe it's truly just a reflection of what you saw from your quarterback the last time you asked him to throw the football. So here on 3rd and 5, do you trust him to try to get Chimere Dike, number 13, involved in the passing game? Or do you run the ball twice saying, hey, this is 4-down territory for us. We're not walking away with just a field goal.
Remember, Mertz threw an interception the last time he passed. Completes this one to his tight end across the formation. Eschenbach picks up the 1st down.
Oh, that's
wow, clutch.
Mark, that's just beautiful. What Bobby Ingram did, he went back to the last completion that Graham Mertz had. Ran the same exact play. Run the back on a cross belly dive and have the tight end come across the formation and then peek into the flat. So you see their play selection today. Wow. 24 rushes for 92 yards, 7 passes for 19 yards. Not the most efficient in the passing game, but they got to get there.
Mertz got a man. Knocked loose, incomplete. Great close on the play as DK couldn't squeeze it. And it sets up a 2nd down and 10. That ball hung a little too long.
Yes, it did. And Isaac Gifford is the one who knocks it out. But you see Chimere Dike break deep when the quarterback's going. But you got to make that catch, brother. He hits you right between the numbers. You want to talk about picking your quarterback up? Graham Mertz just threw a really bad interception earlier in the game. If you make that catch for him right there, yeah, there's a possibility that you spin off that hit and you can possibly score. But it also helps your quarterback get going. HBO, help a brother out.
They did that time. On the run, this is Garendo. There's a flag down.
There are fouls by both teams. Personal foul, clipping, offense, number 79. Offside, defense, number 11, lined up in the neutral zone. Those fouls offset, 2nd down.
Mertz fires and incomplete, not even close. Clean pocket for Mertz. Into the end zone. Incomplete.
Mertz, his evaluation of the field, but he should have went somewhere else with that one.
Van Zeltz from 39. Short. The RG means RGPS too. They'll come out 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Wisconsin football went scoreless in the first half. Saw Braylon Allen shaken up too as we revisit your keys to the game.
And that he has this season.
1st and 10, it's going to be Allen.
And they're kind of trying to limit this running game as much as possible, even though they've put some pretty good drives together running the football.
Malusi out to the 31-yard line. 3rd down and 4 coming up. Into the wind. Incomplete at the 35.
Going towards Chimere Dike and Skylar Bell, 2 of their better receivers.
Line drive bunt. Bounces at the 27-yard line, goes out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 since he was about 10 years old. Low snap for Casey. Put him in a bad position right after the snap. He throws it away. It'll be 2nd down and 10. They lost 4 offensive linemen already earlier this year. They're going to run it and down to the 25-yard line. Anthony Grant stopped up by Benton.
Show a team, hey, we're going to try to make you one-dimensional and force you to throw the football.
3rd and long. Thompson fires it downfield. Tipped, almost intercepted, incomplete.
They're not being efficient. They're not being able to find their targets. And it's not especially hard when you're sitting there in 3rd and 10.
With the wind at his back, wow. Buschini booms one that will dribble all the way into the end zone. Man, 74-yard punts. And calling the plays from upstairs, Wisconsin with the football right now out to the 30-yard line.
But when you're up in the booth, you're on the phone. You have no idea. Did he mean what he just said when he said that? There's no eye contact. There's no feeling of being a part of the game with your player. I know there's a lot of people listening to this game that have been in long-distance relationships. I'm just saying it ain't that good, people.
10-yard gain on that run by Bell. They come the other way this time. Malusi. 1st down and 10. Mertz fires. Caught at the 30 by Lewis. Down to the 30. They run it out of the offset eye. Incomplete at the 28-yard line.
Mertz seems to be going up and down, and that's been the tale of his career so far in college.
Spider banana. Spider 2-wide banana. They run it into the boundary. Big facts.
When you talk about that, you just look at this offensive line for Wisconsin, and you got to tip your hat to them because they're playing at a really high level right now.
Malusi, the deep back out of the eye. Robert runs it down to the 16-yard line. Malusi in there right now. Takes the handoff. Keeps those legs churning down inside the 10-yard line.
We're not going to not go on my watch.
This is Garendo. Garendo, the deep back, on the 11th play of the drive. Makes it down to the 3. Garrett Nelson.
And the offensive lineman, and you're seeing that tradition come to light on this drive.
Malusi. Going to be short of the end zone. Stopped up just outside the 1-yard line. Oh, there was a little motion.
False start. Offense, number 34. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Moves it back all the way to the 6.5. 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Mertz rolls out, fires in the end zone. Incomplete. DK couldn't get his feet down in time. Zelst. And Wisconsin finally on the board with just under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Big Ten Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you want an edge in the competitive market, Rocket can.
In 20-degree weather in Lincoln.
What's better, the cob of corn or being dressed up like a popcorn box with the overalls?
That's a tie. That's a push.
That's a tie?
Yeah, that's a push.
I would go with the popcorn box because you know popcorn is delicious.
Oh, that's true. Hey, man, come on, man. I'll take some corn, though.
Oh, the corn heads, man.
He's done.
Look at that.
He's done. He's done.
Gotta love the pageantry of college football, man.
It's great, isn't it? Your first time here, right?
First time since 2008. And we took an L in that game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was a freshman.
What do you remember most about it?
What I remember most, honestly, was we had a quarterback sneak check at the line that if the defensive end crashed, we would take the quarterback sneak and run speed option out the back end and ran it for 50 yards down the sideline.
Ooh, that's Hill. Didn't get 50 yards down the field at all.
Oh, Mark, look at that. What's that on the screen? I think it says, bring on Neon Dion in neon letters?
There's only one of those. We know who that is.
It's prime time.
Speculation running rampant about the next coach here in Lincoln. Of course, there's so many different coaches deserving, including a very impressive list of minority coaching candidates. Jerome Moore doing a great job at Michigan.
You know, in our travels, we meet some of these young men, position coaches and coordinators across the country. I just don't think they get enough hype. They don't get enough love. They don't get the opportunities to sit down and interview for jobs. We were at Michigan last week. I could have been more impressed with their offensive line coach. Young, articulate, and we may have a potential targeting here on this slide or an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, that was Nick Herbig, Q, that made the hit on the play. Maybe a fraction of a second late. Or maybe it's even a targeting. Let's get a closer look with the replay.
Yeah, you're going to see Casey Thompson goes down, and Herbig hits him right in the head as he's going down late.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense, number 19, with targeting. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down. The targeting is under further review.
Particular about these calls.
Further review, the ruling on the field of targeting has been confirmed. Number 19 is disqualified from the game. The 15-yard penalty was already enforced. It's 1st and 10.
Wow, that is a huge hit. A pejorative factor, hurtful, damaging for Wisconsin.
And you see the look right there on Nick Herbig's face. He had 3 sacks last week. So he's really focused on coming out here and getting Herbalicious all day today and hasn't been able to get to the quarterback. Tries to make a play here on the slide, and he hits him in the head.
Wow.
He only had 1 tackle today, and now he's going to be watching the rest of the game.
Casey Thompson looking downfield. Ball was a little bit high, intended for Vokalek. Let's get more on Herbig from Q.
Well, you know that hurts, because after spending time with Nick this week, we can tell you he's about as honest, as authentic, and as genuine as it gets. A native of Kauai. Hawaii, moved to Honolulu to play for St. Louis High School. You may recognize the last name Herbig. His brother's an offensive guard for Stanford and now the New York Jets. But this guy loves playing ball. He loves Wisconsin, and his family's been along for the ride.
Well, you could see, Q, the tangible emotion. He's wrought with it right now, disappointed at the outcome of that call out of the backfield. Brewington brought down about 4 yards short of that first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 coming up.
Yeah, and you can see the emotion right there from Nick Herbig. You know, just crying like the game means so much to him. When we did talk to him, it's hard to not like this guy. He plays hard. He said his family lives there in Madison with him, down in the basement, so he always gets his mom's home cooking.
How awesome is that?
No, it's incredible. Right now he's 2nd in the FBS in sacks, but he's the Big Ten leader in sacks, and he's been really playing well. So you hate to see that happen for him. But all defenders out there, when that quarterback slides, lay off. Don't go for the hit. Otherwise, they'll kick you out the game.
Thompson reloads and finds his man underneath Vokalek. Pushed out of bounds around the 42-yard line, and another first down on the 12-yard pickup.
So defenders have to back off. Otherwise, you're going to get in situations like Nick Herbig just did.
Thompson goes into the boundary. The pass complete to Manning. There's a late flag down.
Second guy in. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run.
Wow.
First down.
A lot of linen on the field here in the second half.
They called that on John Torchio. As you see him come off the edge here. Well, I guess you could call it on Torchio, or you could call it on Rodas Johnson, number 56. They pushed the quarterback down.
You think that's...
No, come on. I'm a quarterback,
okay,
and even I
you need
understand.
to come correct on that, then. I was waiting for you.
Even I can understand that that is not a roughing the passer. You see that? Oh, what an acting job by Casey Thompson, though.
And here's Grant. Broke 1-2 tackles and finally brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well,
the 49ers and the Cardinals, you know, trying to get
fun.
Trying to get myself Real nice sombrero. You know what I'm saying? Get that real Mexican food. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait.
Trey Palmer back in the football game, but instead they hand it off to Grant, who makes it inside the 20-yard line to the 19. Picked up 5 on the play. Press it, then run to daylight. Good for 5 yards that time.
It's been a real tough sledding day for him, but they can't give up on that running game.
Palmer split to the top of your screen. They like him in the red zone. 3rd down coming up. Over the middle, wide open. Room service, Palmer. And a grade A gritty. Seasoning and everything.
Oh, I love it.
To let go of the rope. Just 3-7 on the season. But that's not what they're showing this afternoon.
Why wouldn't Ohio State and Michigan both get in? They both played extremely well all year long and are ranked high in the CFP.
Handoff is to Braylon Allen back in the ball game. Let's go downstairs to Quinn.
Trey Palmer scores that touchdown. He circles back towards the sideline with a big smile. Passes Mickey Joseph on the way. And in Mickey's mind, what Janita Baker song is playing? Is it A, giving you the best that I got? Or is it B, you bring me joy?
Both of those. It's a mix, Q. It's a mix of those two. And I'm impressed by your singing.
Well, guys, here's what I do know. Trey Palmer tweeted out this morning at 7:06, I woke up pissed off. And he's playing like it right now.
Riding the arm of Graham Mertz. Gonna hand it off to Braylon Allen. And Allen makes it out to the 36. Now, Robert, I know that there's nobody better than you at immersing themselves in the indigenous foods and environment. What do you got this time?
Listen, when you come to
You
Nebraska,
always got a surprise for me, man.
I always ask the people, hey, where should we go to eat? What should we do? And the #1 place that I got was Muchachos. Muchachos, a little restaurant here not too far from the stadium. And they gave me this pipeline burrito. And I mean,
you feed your whole family with that for a month.
Oh my God, Mark.
Is that chicken or pork?
They got a little chicken, a little brisket.
Okay.
A little pork in here.
That's a good thing.
This burrito will change your life now. Make sure y'all go check it out. My main man, Nick. And if it don't change your life, it will change your gait going to the bathroom.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And you're going to need some napkins with that thing, man, really.
100%.
It's a good thing you have long sleeves.
Appreciate them bringing this out to us.
But, of course, there's an NIL angle to some of this, right? I mean, some of the players here have been able to enjoy the offensive linemen here at Nebraska.
Yes.
Some of the other players enjoying name, image, and likeness.
This burrito you just saw me eat, the pipeline burrito, the Nebraska offensive line was sponsored or had to deal with Muchachos last year to knock that out.
More importantly, we have to eat. This offense trying to feed itself right now. Good slide by Mertz. Hausman jumped over the top to make sure that he didn't make contact.
Yeah. Ernest Hausman saw what just happened to Nick Herbig.
Yes.
And he said, all right, I'm trying to make this play. You see him right here. He's trying to make this play. He's being aggressive, and he's like, oh, my goodness.
Yep.
I got to pull up. I got to do something to make sure I don't hit him at all. Don't even try to hit him at that point. Nice job of making the adjustment by Ernest Hausman.
Braylon Allen in the ball game. Allen cuts it back. Nice run for about 4 yards. Let's go back to studio. Wow, Baylor trying to spoil the college football playoff party for TCU potentially. Allen, meanwhile, 15 rushes for 73 yards. Little bootleg action. Pass complete. That was to Keontez Lewis, who caught a 51-yard touchdown last week against Purdue. Actually, a couple of weeks ago. Wisconsin has won 8 consecutive times against Nebraska. And Mickey Joseph made sure to remind each and every one of his Cornhusker players that it's going back to 2012 since the last time that they've defeated Wisconsin. 1st and 10. Allen again. Bounces outside. Got one guy to beat. Boy, great patience there by Braylon Allen to find daylight and turns a seemingly harmless run into a 22-yard gain.
Yeah, the coaches said, hey, he's doing too much, so here he reads it out, stays patient, and then he finds the bounce hole when everybody else is clogged up in the middle. Nice job by Braylon Allen. You wish you had a little more speed there on the outside to kind of break that one out.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you'll take that huge gain. They got to keep featuring this running game. They're only down by 11, so they can still keep hammering away.
Malusi, the deep back out of the eye. He gets the handoff. Crosses the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Feast making the tackle for Nebraska. Braylon Allen getting a breather, and right now it's Malusi. Allen was the subject of some speculation of tampering recently from other schools.
And he's showing you why other schools wanted him and why Wisconsin wants to keep him.
Malusi straight ahead inside the 10. 3-yard gain. Here's what he had to say about it all. Such is the itinerant nature of college football for coaches and players. Mertz fires into the end zone. Ooh. Touchdown Badgers on that laser to Bell. Wow, that thing was on a line. A frozen rope that melted in the arms of Bell. And the Badgers with their first touchdown of the game.
Woo-wee. I said at the beginning of the broadcast that Graham Mertz has some special talent to him. When you see him throw a football like that, it really shows up.
If it stands, it'll be Bell's 5th touchdown catch of the season. And that flag might have come after the play.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 19, came onto the field without a helmet to celebrate. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. We'll attempt to try. That is number 19's first unsportsmanlike foul.
Wow. I know it's the rules, but that feels insanely insignificant.
Yeah, I mean,
and so punitive at the same time.
And it pushes them back.
Yeah.
It looked like they were going to go for 2 there. Looks like they still are, honestly.
Love to have a seat on the rules committee someday.
So you see Nick Herbig.
How is that unsportsmanlike? How is that unsportsmanlike?
Now, Nick Herbig's already out of the game because of the targeting. So now he's on the field without his helmet on.
The ball will be repositioned to the left hash.
Is it because he shouldn't?
So by rule, he's not supposed to come on the field.
That part, okay.
And especially not with your helmet on. And then he's not even in the game right now. So I understand it by rule. I understand your.
Right.
I also understand your vision of it, as you want guys to be excited for their teammates.
Yeah.
That's not the most unsportsmanlike thing I've ever seen, but you see Nick Herbig right there understanding that he kind of got caught up in the moment. But here they are going for 2.
Guerendo in the backfield. Mertz with time, incomplete. Intended for Bell again. And he knows he missed that one.
Yeah, he did.
So the margin is 5 with 10:07 to go. But the Badgers are back in it.
Yeah, and you'll see right here. Here's the touchdown pass. Mertz on the run, makes the throw, and gets saved by the Bell. But then on this next one, you'll see Herbig come on the field. Unsportsmanlike conduct going right back downhill.
Last unsportsmanlike conduct is second. Yeah, the late hit in the targeting. Out to the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. Let's go to the studio.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 5. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, 1st and 10.
holding on that return. Boy, Illinois could upset the entire picture. Michigan, we talked about it. We saw them last week. They're a notoriously slow starting team, very strong, particularly in the third quarter. But to be down by 7 in the second half, Robert, at home.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the Big Ten. You're going against a team in Illinois that has surprised a lot of people this year with how well they've played. But every single week that you strap them up, you got to be ready to play, because any given Saturday, somebody can knock your block off.
1st and 10 for Casey Thompson. Tucks it under and is brought down at about the 34-yard line. Timmy as well for Gonzaga and Mark Few. And shout out to De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings, former Kentucky grad, who's having an outstanding year for the Kings. Out to the 40-yard line and a first down by Anthony Grant. Both teams with their full complement of timeouts remaining, each with 3. 7-yard gain, 2nd down and 3.
And Mark, it feels like the answer for both teams right now is to run the football and move the pocket. The wind might be playing an effect there, but their quarterbacks are both operating outside of the pocket better than they are inside of it right now.
Grant on the handoff, nowhere to go. Going to be stopped up at about the 30-yard line. Ill-timed. I know you got to translate sometimes to the letter of the rule, but maybe it's just an inappropriate rule. That's going to be a sack back at the 33 by Peterson. His first one of the year. And Wisconsin trying to snatch back some of that momentum here.
Yeah, and you're going to see Darrell Peterson on the outside. They do a nice TE stunt where the defensive end comes inside and the D tackle goes out, and he is the beneficiary of a nice high kick sack there. Nice play by Darrell Peterson, setting up the block and then going and finishing.
Back to the 33. 3rd and 18. Trey Palmer split to the top of your screen. They're going to run it, though. And Grant is going to be short of the first down. Out to the 39. A pensive look across your face there, partner. What do you make of that?
Yeah,
deep thoughts on that one, bro. I'm catching those vibrations.
Mark,
this way. What was that?
We've had some conversations with coaches over this entire college football season. And
yes.
A big point of contention or focus has been not losing the game on 3rd and long. So it's 3rd and 18 there. You do all these shifts and motions just to hand the football off because you don't want to put your quarterback in a precarious situation. But I don't like the call there.
Get it.
Run a screen, set up in a basic run formation, hand the ball off. All the bells and whistles weren't needed there.
Dean Ingram returns it out to the 40-yard line. Be good starting field position for Graham Mertz.
One at the bottom, the Book of Knowledge. It's my nephew, D3, Carlton McAllister. They play for this book. There's some weird one. The Bones Trophy. Have you ever heard of the Bones Trophy?
No, I haven't.
UAB in Memphis. And the trophy, it's a rack of ribs that's bronze. Are you kidding me? The iron skillet. The Sonny Dykes skillet, right? That's
right.
They play for that in Dallas and Fort Worth. And the winner gets to knock the other guy with the skillet.
Man, hey, that sounds lethal. You had me at the book, Q.
Oh, you got the keg of nails, Floyd of Rosedale, the telephone. Missouri and Iowa play for a telephone.
Wow. And that's a big-time sack by Braylon Allen. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Nelson and Feast. Wisconsin looking at a crucial and pivotal 3rd and 13 coming up. Trying to stay alive, get their 6th win of the season, thus becoming bowl eligible. We have a timeout down in the field. Braylon Allen coming up hobbling after that last play.
Oh, man. First it was his shoulder. Now it's a lower body injury. Just can't get a break right now.
Wow. Wisconsin 7 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. Dorendo in the backfield. Mertz under heat. Okay.
If you're going to make that catch, go dead legs. Don't take the extra step because you're running full speed towards the sideline. It's almost guaranteed that that foot is not going to come down in bounds.
Martin back for this punt. fields at the 10 and a fair catch.
So it's going to be on this offensive line to make that happen.
Thompson hands it off. Nowhere to go for Grant. Brought down back at the 8-yard line. He'll lose a couple. He's chasing one of those burritos.
You heard about those muchachos, huh?
Yeah. Palmer split to the top of your screen. They run it on second down. Nice hole. And out to the 19-yard line.
Hey, are we going to trust him throwing the football? I would. And you know who I'd be looking for? I'd be looking for number 3, Trey Palmer.
Palmer at the bottom of your screen. Thompson slings it. Incomplete for Palmer, out of bounds. So the Badgers defense holds on 3rd and 7, giving their offense another opportunity with 3:21 to go. In comes the punt team, led by Brian Buschini. And he's going to need to get off a pretty good one here into the wind.
Into the wind, and that's a big part of this. And I see what Casey Thompson saw there. Had a back shoulder opportunity to Trey Palmer.
Right.
But I would have loved to have seen him push the ball vertical down the field when Palmer's matched up with number 24, Hunter Wohler. Maybe he was a little cognizant of the wind and didn't want to have the ball get caught in the air. But at the end of the day, they're punting the football.
6th punt of the day. A line drive spiral, fielded at the 41 by Ingram. Ingram into Nebraska's side of midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line on the 45-yard punt.
Skyler's always going to answer the bell. And then right here you see Nick Herbig, who came out to celebrate after that play, who was kicked off the field, ejected from the game, because by rule he's not supposed to leave the sideline and come on the field to celebrate with a teammate with no helmet on. And I just feel, Mark, you kind of alluded to it earlier, this is just, the rule is the rule, but that's not the spirit of the rule.
No,
to kick a player off the field and out of the game and eject him just because he came off the sideline.
That's a dumb rule if you can kick a kid out for something like that.
And of course they kicked him off because there was the compilation of that and also his hit earlier in the game that he got suspended for.
Guerrero running it to the right side, picked up enough yardage to get inside the 40 down to the 38 and move the chains. Folks, keep in mind, Wisconsin has never led this afternoon. They've trailed the entire game, but right now marching down by 5 with 3 timeouts remaining. Nebraska also with 3. That run an 8-yard gain. And it looks like they're going to have to do it without their number 1 running back, Braylon Allen, who limped off the field after the last series.
And Mark, they started this drive with 3:11, all 3 timeouts. Now they're down to almost 2 minutes in the game. The clock really isn't an issue yet, but they've got to start getting some big chunk plays.
Guerrero brought down by Nelson. Wisconsin trying to get to their all-important 6th win of the season, becoming bowl eligible. As we have a player down, that's Garrett Nelson. And a couple of interim bosses, respectively, on the sidelines. Mertz fires, got a man! It's caught at the 5. What a grab by Guerrero, who slipped out and makes it 1st and goal Badgers with 1:25 to go.
What a play, what a throw by Graham Mertz. And a catch by the running back. Isaac Guerrero, look at this. He's breaking the pocket, gives him an opportunity, and he goes and makes the play. Now, if I'm going to be critical, I'm saying to Isaac Guerrero, why you fall down, brother? You didn't need to fall. It was a perfect throw. What a catch. Now they're sitting here 1st and goal, trying to take the lead.
27-yard gain. And there he is again, Guerrero. Maybe he just wanted to make sure on the catch.
Yes.
Diving and falling.
Yes.
Playing it safe.
He might have played it safe, but he's got to trust his hands there. Guerrero's already got a fade touchdown catch this year.
Yes.
So he is the guy they like to move around a little bit, and they trust him catching the ball down the field. He didn't need to fall there, but it was a great play.
Wisconsin calls timeout. Their 1st of 3 remaining. 2nd and goal. Pelosi bouncing it outside. Didn't get there. Run out of bounds at the 2. Isaac Gifford making the stop. So it sets up 3rd and goal. 45 seconds to go. And another timeout called. This one's going to go to the Badgers. So they'll have one timeout remaining. What do you make of this play and the key for them not making it into the end zone?
I mean, I thought they did a great job getting him essentially three lead blockers, and Chez Mellusi reads it inside out, bounces outside, and gets it down to dang near the 1 yard line, or it looks like the 2 yard line there. If I'm Wisconsin, this is a tradition play here.
Right.
It's 3rd and goal.
There's
potential it's going to be 4th and goal if you don't get it. You got to run the ball 2 times. Put your big back in there. If you don't have Braylon Allen anymore, Chez Mellusi has been running the ball effectively today as well. This is your moment to say, we're just going to roll up the sleeves, play old school Wisconsin football, and make it happen.
Try and put him in the weight room here. We've seen them run out of the I formation with Nowakowski and Allen, Nowakowski and Mellusi. Correndo has also gotten some carries. Mellusi, the deep back in the eye.
Oh!
Keeper not in the end zone, though. No signal yet. Wisconsin thinks they scored.
That's definitely a touchdown.
And it's a touchdown. Finally, the signal. Mertz kept it himself and got in for the score. Within that massive humanity and the pile of bodies.
You can see the refs are on the field right now deliberating, but this is clear as day that this is a touchdown. Graham Mertz on the quarterback sneak, falls into the end zone. Every camera angle that I saw shows him clearly in.
What were they waiting on?
I mean, you rarely see a quarterback sneak. Here they bring in Cornhuskers again to get that man zone read. They now know they have zone coverage.
From the left hash, Mertz got hit.
Oh!
He did not make it in, and he took a lick from Garrett Nelson. So it remains 15-14 with 35 seconds to go.
Listen to this hit right here. Oh! Garrett put that man in a full Nelson right there. Hey, Mark, you know when that ball's flying off the tee, that the wind is real serious out there.
From the 6, it's Hill. Still on his feet, and finally corralled at the 21-yard line. 28 seconds to go, along with its 2 timeouts for Casey Thompson. Palmer on the field. Keep an eye on number 3 for Nebraska with their 2 touchdown scores today.
You'd anticipate that here Wisconsin would play some form of a 2-shell defense to try to keep everything in front of them.
Thompson comes underneath, the pass complete to the 26. Marcus Washington gets up quickly. They got to spot the ball, the clock.
They got to take the timeout, guys.
Yeah, that did not go well.
Come on. Yeah,
Marcus Washington made that last catch.
20 seconds, 1 timeout now. Now you have to start getting big chunk plays or get first down type of throws to stop the clock.
Thompson going to be sacked back at the 26. And that's not going to help. Benton with the tackle. 3rd down coming up.
Nebraska calls their 3rd and final timeout of the game.
Third and 5. The out is complete to Palmer. Only to the 33 with 9 seconds to go. Can't point the finger at number 3 today. He's done a lot of the heavy lifting offensively. No timeouts remaining for the Cornhuskers. Thompson into traffic, incomplete with 4 seconds to go.
Yeah, well now 4 seconds left on the clock.
4 seconds to go. Thompson's going to have to heave it. He does. Palmer couldn't squeeze it, and that's it. That'll do it. Wisconsin earns its 6th victory of the season, becoming bowl eligible, storming back in the final quarter with 12 points. They outscored Nebraska 12-0 in the final frame and registered their 9th consecutive win and the Freedom Trophy in the process against Nebraska.